All right.
Assuming we're supposed to see a GitHub
Yes.
board.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. All right. So yes, this is a live demo, but I'm pretty sure that it's a relatively safe demo to do. We'll see how this goes. All right. So hi, my name is Julie Hardesty. I'm a metadata analyst at Indiana University. My pronouns are she, her, hers. And so I'm going to set a little stage here. So imagine, if you will, that you have pledged maintenance hours to help with Hyrax, and you are joining a Hyrax maintenance working group sprint stand-up Zoom to find out what's going on and what you can work on. So the folks on the Zoom point you to this GitHub project board that we are looking at right here. And this is showing the work that's been lined up for the current sprint. And they show you this test and confirm column here. If you can see where my mouse is pointing here, the test and confirm issue column in the project board. So you're invited to test this first issue, this first one that's hanging out here in the test and confirm issue column. And then so testing this issue, adding a comment to the issue to report your findings. And then if you can, moving the issue along over to the next column, the planning and prioritizing column, so that Rebecca, the Hyrax product owner, can evaluate what needs to happen with that issue and keep things moving along in the sprint. So let's go ahead and give this a try. So this test and confirm column has gathered up issues that we basically are seeing from the backlog and needing to check out and get an update on the status of these, if there's still issues, what sorts of things are happening, and then what the work is that needs to be done. So this issue it's been titled Search Results, Alternative Layouts, Missing Styling, Gallery, Masonry, and it's got a Bootstrap 4 added onto the title as well. So there's kind of a lot of information there. But we also have a helpful descriptive summary here so we can dig into this a little bit and take a look at what's going on. So what this is describing is that the Hyrax 3.x branches using Bootstrap 4 appear to have missing styling for non-list search result layouts. So that may or may not mean a whole lot to you when you're checking that out. But if we keep going through this, we can see what other information is available and what we can do to actually test and verify what's being reported here. So we've got a rationale that sometimes is useful for getting information here, and then expected behavior. So we've got some expected behavior that when a user clicks on one of these default layouts, the search results should be presented in different ways according to the design pattern for that layout option. So then we've got some screenshots in here, which are really helpful. So we've got a gallery view, and this is showing this expected behavior. So this is showing what it should be looking like. And we can see what gallery view is looking like, which is this option that's been selected in the screenshot. We've got masonry, which is showing this option for the search results that it should look like. And then we've got slideshow, which is showing, this is the last search results option. And this is what it should look like. And we do have some links here. This is going over to Hyrax dev, however, and that's where we're going to be testing. So it's once you head over there, you're actually going to be looking at the site in this. So the links in this case are not necessarily as helpful, but the screenshots are super helpful. So the actual behavior that was reported for this issue, you can see that we've got some screenshots here in addition that are showing the thumbnails are missing. Content blocks are not well delineated from each other. The slideshow option is missing guidance text above the thumbnails. That select an image to start the slideshow is not there. And the modal window is unstyled. So you can see the screenshots that are supplied here for gallery and masonry and slideshow. These different views of the search results are a little different than what is expected. So these first screenshots are showing what's expected with gallery and masonry and slideshow. And then here we're missing thumbnails. I think if you look at this, you can click on these and get a larger view. We don't even have any boxes showing around this. So this is what folks were seeing when this issue was created. And then masonry, we're also missing thumbnails. And then slideshow just really looks totally off here. The thumbnails are kind of cut off. That instruction is missing, like they were saying. All right, and then we've got steps to reproduce the behavior, which is also super helpful. So we've got step-by-step instructions, and this is what we can potentially use to actually go and test this and see what the status is on this issue. So we'll just look at this. So we're going to be going to the home page, hitting go in the search box to produce a large results list. And then in that search results page, we're going to go through those different options of gallery, masonry, and slideshow to see what the layouts look like. And then related work is also listed here. So if there were other related issues, they might be linked up. So then we'll scroll through the rest of this to see what's happened. There's been some things that have happened with like labels being applied, the issue being kind of moved around over time. Looks like there maybe has been some work because there's a couple merged pull requests. So there's been something that's happened with these. Starts work on the view type functionality issues, styles masonry view. So there's been some masonry view work potentially. And then you can see here that we had, it looked like testing was blocked by another issue. And that issue, if you mouse over it, you can get a little preview of it. And you can see with that purple check mark, that's meaning that the issue has been closed. So we had an issue that was blocking, but the issue has been closed. And now there's actually an additional comment that's precisely saying that issue is closed and we should be able to test this on Hyrax dev now. So getting through all of that and heading back up to these steps to reproduce the behavior, we should be able to try this out on Hyrax dev and see what's happening. So I'm going to open up Hyrax dev, which is our test version of our test deployment of Hyrax using the code, the latest code that's in the main branch of Hyrax. And so this is the active Fedora based Hyrax. And I'm going to follow the instructions to try to reproduce what was being reported as the problems in this issue. So you go to the home page, hit go on the search results box to get search results. So not entering any search terms, conducting a search. We've got our search results here, and this is the default view, which is that list view. You can see here we are seeing results with thumbnails. And then clicking on the non-list options like gallery, Mason, and slideshow to see what these layouts are. So I'm going to scroll back up to where the screenshots that were reported are showing. And so this one is gallery. Switching over to gallery. I am not seeing any thumbnails here. I am seeing, I don't know if you can see this, but I am seeing some lines around the search results. So that seems different than what we saw here. There's no lines here, but we are seeing some lines now, but there's still no thumbnails. And then masonry, this is what masonry was looking like when the issue was created. When we look at masonry now, we're seeing thumbnails. So that seems, and actually we're also seeing some titles on mouse over. So there's some improvement potentially in the masonry view. And that can kind of coincides with what we saw in the issue where there was a merged pull request for the masonry view. And then slideshow was looking like this. What we're seeing for slideshow now is thumbnails look a little bit better than what these thumbnails are, but that instruction that they talked about being missing, select an image to start the slideshow, that instruction is still not showing up here. So that's what we're seeing for basically for what we currently have in the main branch on Hyrax. That's what we're seeing for search results right now. And I should have shown this a little earlier, but when you scroll down to the footer here, you can see the current version that is that's deployed is the Hyrax 4.0 beta 2. So we've got a particular release, the latest release of Hyrax 4 that we're working on here. And what was originally reported on said it was a Hyrax 3.x branch that had Bootstrap 4. So it's kind of something that was getting updated but hadn't been completely finished. And this was reporting issues from testing on that initial upgrade. And then we've had some work done, but we are seeing some improvements, but we do still have some issues for what we're seeing in the search results. So we don't have any thumbnails here. We are seeing this is masonry is improved and slideshow is better, but still missing instruction text. So I will, the next step here is going to be to report what I found. And I will admit to having pre-typed out. I've got a little bit of pulling this out of the oven pre-baked text to add a comment. So on Hyrax dev with Hyrax 4 beta 2, because that's what we just tested on, the gallery view is better. There are boxes around each item, so it's better delineated, but the thumbnails are still missing. So we're still missing some parts of what that view should look like. Masonry view looks better and has all the thumbnails like it was before originally. And then slideshow view seems to have better thumbnails, but it's still missing that select an image to start the slideshow instruction. So that would be my report. And I can add this comment. And so that update for that is there. And then if this is possible, this might depend on if you are added to, you might need to be added to a team on GitHub in order to actually work in the project board to move issues around. But you can either Slack with the team to let them know that that has been tested and you've got a report added. Or if you can move things over, you can actually drag this over into planning and prioritizing column. And that information, we've got the most up-to-date view info on what's happening with that issue. And the Hyrax product owner can then take that and figure out in the priority where that should be, if it's ready to be worked on, if it's ready to be closed, because potentially it's an issue that is no longer a problem and can just be closed out and removed. And what we've done here, actually, I'll head back over here. Yeah, what we've done here is we've shown that we do have some improvements to this issue. It is in better shape, and it is for the Blacklight Bootstrap Rails upgrade work that we're trying to do for Hyrax 4, which is why this label is on there. But for the issues that we're bringing into the sprints for Hyrax, at least, we are trying to lay these things out and show exactly what the issues are that are being that are coming up, and what needs to be done for testing, laying out the steps to test, and being able to have that reported there and provided there so that folks can come in without needing to do any sort of development work, without needing to do any code work, without needing to have anything up and running locally, and actually use Hyrax dev, the latest deploy, to be able to test and help monitor how these issues are progressing. So this particular example, I think, is one of the easier ones because it didn't require me to log in at all. I didn't have to be an admin user. I'm not trying to do anything with works on the dashboard. So this was in fact a relatively easy example to use here. But the idea is that we've got issues like this that do need testing, and if you are interested in finding out more about how that works and what other testing we have happening, because this is just one way of doing testing work and participating. We also have feature testing for preparing for releases that I'll be talking about today at 2 o'clock at the Birds of a Feather conversation group 3-4, which is called Community Participation Through Issue Testing in Hyrax. And I will put that schedule link into the Slack here if you are interested in joining up for that. And we'll talk through some more examples of doing this issue testing, what that looks like, and what sorts of things you can do and participate on if you're wanting to help out that way in the community. So I'm going to stop sharing.